Hello, everybody. We're going to play some guitar here. I'm logging in. Had to fight the computer a bit, but we're online now. Let me go post the link over on our website. Website's denverguitarorchestra.com. And we meet every day here, Monday through Friday, to play a little fingerstyle guitar on various levels. So we have level 1, 2s, and 3s, and 4s usually, but I have not quite gotten the 4 ready for this week. Well, I did get it ready this morning, but I didn't get it sent out to everybody. So level 1 is 1-chord songs. Level 2 is 2-chord songs. Level 2 is where all of this March stuff you need to know is actually located. Level 3 is public domain songs, and level 4 is painfully difficult modern songs that make you sad. So that's how I have it divided up. And so today we're playing Farmer in the Dell from level 1. Not a great song, but definitely an excellent introduction into fingerstyle guitar play. Clementine, which is, I don't know how to that song. Terrible, terrible narrator. And then, of course, we're playing Beautiful Dreamer level 3, which is beautiful. We also play some daily scales, which we started this week, and we're going to do some of that today as well. So, let me get my sheet music up going. We got people loading in. First person in will say, "Hey, Gary, sounds good." And so I'm hoping it sounds good to Vic. She says, "Can I come to class in my jam?" Vic is not. Vic, it's new. It's significantly afternoon in Vic's part of the world. She's still in her jammies. Playing guitar in your pajamas is the best, right? If I ever give a concert, I'm playing it in my pajamas. That's what I'm going to do. I have a concert coming up for ukulele in January. So, hey, Evelyn, sound is good. That makes me happy. Let's see. Guys, I do have Imagine and Wonderful World finished. I just uploaded the songs to the server this morning, and I was going to then email all you guys that have asked them for it, and then I just straight up ran out of time. I was too close to the deadline to get back online here. So right after I'm done with this class, I will send you Imagine and Wonderful World in the same email, and you will be ready to rock out. So plan on this evening spending a lot of time with Louis Armstrong and John Lennon, and well, I guess I should make the joke. Plan on spending a lot of time with John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and knock out the and get those put together for you. Imagine I left in the key of C because that's what he wrote it in, or he and she wrote it in. It's not as playable on guitar as I wish it would be because it's in the key of C. Wonderful World is actually quite playable, and so I think you'll have fun with both of those, and both of them will teach you different skills. Not necessarily at level 4, you don't really learn any new skills, I don't think, but I do think it gives you a chance to dial in to, hey, I'm going to play F chord, C chord, F chord, C chord, that type of stuff, which we work on level 2. By the time you get to level 4, you don't necessarily like it, but you know you can do it, kind of thing. So yeah, so I know, poor Elizabeth. We're loading you up, Elizabeth, making sure that you are not going to decide to go into, go down the street and join the construction trades because you're bored, right? And we want you to keep playing music. And so I keep piling on you. But I did finish those this morning and played through them, I don't know how many times this morning. Had a lovely morning of playing Wonderful World and Imagine, and I think they're nice. I think they're nice. There was a big part of me that's like, Gary, just put Imagine into an easier key to play. And then I thought, no, I'm not doing it. I'm sticking with the key of C. It sounds pretty cool. And I've had it all done in the past, and we've played it in guitar in a couple of different ways. But I want, each time I send it out, each time we bring it up again, I spent a couple of years since I revised the sheet music, and I just went through and probably I made it a little bit more necessary to do the F bar chord on there. But you'll find your way around that. Hey, Arlo, welcome in. All right, so let's talk about a few things. One, let's get you up your scales because you decided, I didn't decide. I think it's crazy you guys want to do these. But let's grab your sheet called 5 Scales and let's play a little bit of those. D, E, F. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? E, E, 5 scales. All right. So what do you think? Do you want to play a different scale each day? My thinking is that would just make some sense to get you every day have a different scale. So yesterday we played C. So I think we'll just play the G scale today. If you will pull that up in front of you. While you're pulling it up, a couple of thoughts. Number one, were you able to draw a treble clef without looking at it? It's called a treble clef. All you guys know that. Can you do it without looking at it? So that's the one name is treble clef. It's sometimes called the G clef because this little curly Q thing goes around the line where you put G notes on. And so sometimes they call it a G clef. And then for you guys, it's very fascinating. You actually need to know the fact that you're playing on an octave clef. So that a little 8 at the bottom there, that's actually what you're playing on. And if you look on your double octave guitar scales with sheet, you'll notice that the treble clef does have that 8 underneath it. And what that 8 does is it means, hey, I'm going to write on the treble clef. That's because that's an easy clef to read. But the sound your guitar makes is going to be a full octave below that. So when you are playing what you think is a middle C, you're actually playing the C below middle C. And so, for example, on your scale sheet there, the first note is a C, middle C, right? And you play it right here. Okay? And you think, oh, that's a middle C. It's not. It's an octave below middle C is the note. Your real middle C is right here. That's a real middle C right over there. No, that's not true. C, C, D, E, F, G, A. Yeah, that's correct. I thought there was another C in there. That's actually middle C, but on your paper it will show up as a high C. And so when you think you're playing middle C, you're actually playing an octave below. It's a fascinating thing. You don't really need to know that, and not every piece of sheet music is going to show that octave clef on there. Mine does typically because my sheet music plays through the computer to create those MP3 files. And if you don't have it set correctly, it will actually play them an octave higher. And so there's that. Now, let's move on to scale number 2. Yesterday, we dug into key of C scale, and we noticed, we worked on that bar, that 5th position there at the top of the scale. Key of G, you can play 2 octaves and not change position. So you're going to play everything in the first 4 frets here. Remember, when you see a 4, you really are supposed to use your pinky finger. Okay, so we're going to start with a 3 on the 6th string. That's your low G. And then you play a 0, 2, 3. Then a 0, 2, 4. Then you play 0, 2. Then 0, 1, 3. And then 0, 2, 3. Okay. Now, however you want to learn to do that is completely on you and completely right. Okay. So if you're not using tabs, you're going to need to sit down and figure out, all right, where are my notes? And then I got to memorize where those notes are on here. Not an unimportant activity. I have never taken time to do it. That's why if I decide to apply to go to guitar school next year, I really do have to study this. I do have to get my names and my notes put together. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Because then I'd have to learn how to do this. When I've got tabs sitting right there, why would I not use the tab? So the way to do that is to say the names of the notes as you're going up. So you start with your G, and then your next note's A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, that's your first octave. Next octave is A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and then go back down. F sharp, E, D, C, D, A, G, F sharp, C, B, A, Okay. So that's how you play it. Just say those names aloud as you're playing it, and you'll start to memorize where you are. I find it pretty easy to say them as I'm going up, but when I get to the top and I start coming back down, I'm like, oh, where am I? Right? So I tend to get confused going down where I'm just fine going up, and that's why we go up and we come back down, and so we learn how to say those aloud each time. So that's your key of G major. Remember, in the key of G, all of the Fs are sharp. And so when we say, instead of playing this F, we play this F, which is an F sharp. Okay. And that's based on each key has its own arrangement of what notes are sharp. And I only give you keys C, G, D, A, and E on this paper. There are 15 total major keys. In guitar, pretty much you're not going to play in 10 of those. You're probably never going to play in B flat or E flat unless you're playing in classical music. And in jazz, you never know what key you're in anyway. You're always using bar chords to just find your way around. But and it evolves depending on wherever you start a song and end a song. But with classical music, you'll play in those weird keys. Not a lot. You're mostly, even there, you're going to play mostly in these keys until you get to the real contemporary stuff. And then of course, key becomes a little less of just an idea. So we've worked on a couple of different scales there. Like I say, I don't necessarily think they're that important, but I do think if you do want to learn to read standard notation, this is probably just about as easy a way as any. Say the notes as you go up, and you'll start to realize, oh, that's a C, that's an F. Okay, those are handy to know. That way, a little bit helpful for you. Oh, now I know for sure that 4 on that string, that's an F sharp. That's handy to know that information. And one of the other reasons to know that information, and I learned this from Arlo actually, when you get into bar chords, by knowing the names of the top couple of strings, it helps you determine what chord you're actually playing. So if I'm playing an F chord, I know this note is an F right here, and my bar is now sitting on top of that. That means that's an F, right? So if I slide it up to here, I know that note's a G, and then I'm playing a G chord. And if I slide it up to here and I know that note's an A, then my chord is an A. So that's actually pretty helpful. And different ones use different strings. B minor, for example, is here. And you're going to be using the second string. That B there tells you, hey, that's a B. That's going to be a B chord. Okay. So knowing the names of the notes on each, especially on these lower strings, can help you when you start playing with all bar chords to help you figure out where you are in that process. That way you grab something down here and you're like, I don't remember what note there, I don't remember what chord that is. Oh, it's whatever that note is there, right? And so it's a way to help you get a little more familiar with that sort of stuff. Again, I'm not that big on it, but I know for some of you it can be helpful. It can be helpful on rock guitar, helpful in classical guitar, helpful in jazz. But for the rest of us, we're just trying to play some songs, right? So let's, again, for those of you who logged in late, I do have Wonderful World and Imagine ready to press send and send it to you on email. So if you've already sent me an email, you'll get that here right after class. If you haven't sent me an email, send me an email and say, hey, I want to play level 4 this time. Imagine and Wonderful World I initially included in my Christmas book anyway, so it's sort of your added to your Christmas concert. All of you will be giving a guitar Christmas concert at your house, right? And it will include you and your dog and possibly your wife or husband or whatever. Or it might include the next door neighbor, but don't let them come over. They can sit open with the door open or something. You don't want them to bring you whatever they got. So you're planning a concert long, week before Christmas, December 20th or so, and you're going to play them some Christmas tunes on your guitar. And so Imagine and Wonderful World will fit very nicely into that. You can also play those in July, and no one will fight you. All right, for Farmer in the Dell, let's go grab that guy and let's get him knocked out. Again, with Farmer in the Dell, we don't care about the song. What we do care about is that this is your foray into chord melody playing if you're a level 1 person. Okay, so first thing is you got your A chord. Let's make sure that that's going well for you. 2, 2, and 2. Okay, okay, just one time through, and remember 6, 8 timing. We can do it 6 times. The farmer in the dell, the farmer, and that's too much, right? That's crazy. So we can then just do it in 2. The farmer in the dell, much better. Okay, and if you're next level player, you're doing this. Not even if you're next level. If you're level 1, okay, let's do that. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. Okay, that's it. Okay, but it's kind of silly, but using this shape also gives us all of our melody notes almost. And so by taking this shape, we now can go through holding continuing to hold this chord. Let's go ahead and play the melody and see how little motion we have to do now to adjust as we go along. So your first note's a 2 on the 4th string. You're already holding it down, pluck it. And then you got a bunch on 3, and you're already holding those down. Your next note's a 0 on the 2nd string. Right now you're holding a 2, so just lift it up, play the 0, and then put it right back down. 2. Okay. Next note is a 0 on the 1st string. And again, you got to get a 2 onto the 1st string, so I just recommend taking your ring finger, moving it down 1 string, hitting the 2, and then taking it right back off and putting it where it goes. And then 2, 2, you're already holding them down. Then lift up your ring finger again, put it back down again, lift it up again, and then change the string to the 3rd string, hit a 2 there. Let's play it through a couple of times. 1, again, holding your A chord and trying to do all of the 2s or almost all the 2s just by doing nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's in 6. I'll count 2. 1, 2. Again. One more time. And the last time through, you slow down just a little bit on that next to last measure, measure 7, going into measure 9. Just sort of slow down just a smidge, and let that thing bring it into the airport nice and slow, right? Last thing on that. So now we know how to play chord, and we know how to play the melody while we're holding the chord. So that is fingerstyle right there. That's the whole thing. Okay. So then last thing we do, tough act people, this is for level 2 and above. You hit the 2, and then you hit 0, 2, 2. Hit a bunch of 2s after that. 2, 0. And then 0, you'll lift up your ring and put it back. Full A. Grab that 2 and put it back. Lift up your ring. Ring up. Let's do it one more time. Doesn't that feel good? Don't you? Can you feel the instrument just really like droning on when you play in that style? I love that part. Those of you guys that are next level and you're like, yep, I totally got that. No, nothing weird about that to me. Be thinking about attacking it with a claw shape as well. about using all of those techniques is continually refining them and trying to just make sure you spend a little bit of time on all of the different techniques. That way, when you get to whatever song you're in love with, you can bring all those tools to it and turn it into something really fabulous. All right, Farmer in the Dell, first song in chord melody. That's the way to think of Farmer in the Dell. Not that great of a song, but really, really helpful to get your head around what chord melody looks like and feels like. Now, on to Clementine. Again, we talked yesterday about how silly this song is. Let's just sing a couple of the verses. Okay. Grab your A chord, and you're going to go to E7, which we did on Just Get a Tasket. From the top, 1, 2, oh, it's 3, so I count in 2. 1, 2. In a cavern, in a canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner 49er and his dog Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorrow, Clementine. Light she was like a fairy, and her shoes were number 9. Hairy boxes without tops, as scandals were from Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful song, Clementine. Change your strum pattern, do something different. I'm going to do an arpeggio pattern. Last time through. How I missed her, how I missed her, how I missed my Clementine. Yet I kissed her little sister and forgot my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Okay, did a terrible job of it, but when you're in 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. Yeah, so you could. I'm not doing a good job of that. Never mind. Don't do that. Okay, play the melody, please, from the top. 1, 2. Every E7 I think I blew. All right, you got the idea though. Don't neglect playing melody. That's one of those things that I think fingerstyle players could do themselves a huge favor of. Just play melody, 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 until it just sort of becomes second nature to your fingers, and they're just where they need to be when they need to be there. You got a lot of strings, right? So finding your way around can be a problem. Last thing, let's run through the tough acts on this one. Okay, again, as always, grab the chord, see how far it takes you. 1, 2, it's in 2. It's in 3, I'm going to count in 2. 1, 2. partial bar on 5, pinky on, partial bar on 2, pinky on 5. And notice on the sheet music there, last measure, measure 18. In the tough axe, that's what you want, right? But notice on the guitar line, the melody line, you want this. Right? Just a little white quaver on there. And I think you'll like that. Those little quavers, we call them vibratos, they sound really, really pretty when you remember to do them. Usually on a long note in sort of one of these places where it's kind of the ending, or just in a place where you have a nice long note and nothing, not that much else going on. Really give that a little wiggle and make that a little more drama into it. Okay. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're a little bit early. We'll be early today, okay? That'll give you time to go check your email after this. Let's play Beautiful Dreamer. This is a long song, and it's also a lot of work, and so we'll do just fine with making this our wrap-up piece for today. Make sure you know how the repeats work. You go all the way down the first time through to measure 8, and then you're going to go back to 5. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong piece of music. Hold on. I'm looking at the before I rewrote it for you to have less repeats. All right, here we go. This is the one I wanted. You're going to, it's 4 pages long, even with all these crazy repeats. Play all the way down through 24. Dun, 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 dun. Then you're going to come back to measure 13. Then you're going to play all the way down to 48. And then you're going to come all the way back to measure 13. You're going to go to 24 again. And then you're going to come back. And you're going to play from 13 to the end. Okay? So you're coming back to 13 3 times. Okay? The first time you're stopping at 24. The second time you're stopping at 48. That makes sense? 24, 48, 24, 48. 24, 48, 24, end. All right. I'll try to help you as we go through it. It's a long song, and it's almost one of these songs where you just assume turn 87 pages because it's just kind of a pain. But I don't like that. I like to have, I would rather be working on turning pages than, what do I want? I don't know what I want. Get rid of the ties. Okay. All right. My hold on. My page turner machine is not cooperating. Pairing connected. Okay, good. All right. Let's get going now. All right. There we go. All right. Now we're in business. Take your time, play it any way you want to. If you're a chord person, okay, the chords are not hard on this one. Playing melody is perfectly fine. Just make it as pretty as you can. I'm going to play tough act, so I think by the time we get to the end, we'll decide how we're feeling. But we should feel pretty good. From the top, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. Back to 13. Back to 13. 2, 3. Keep going. Measure 49. How about that? That's a nice little tune. 18 something, right? 1862, if I remember right. 64. 1862. Seemed easier than yesterday. That's all we want, right? Just every day is a little easier. This piece of music, I would say, I think it's arranged in about the best key for guitar, but it is not necessarily, it's not a walk in the park. There is plenty of stuff here to keep you busy. And I think because it goes way up here to 10, but then a good portion of the melody is clear down here on the third string as well, that you're, no matter what key you put it in, you're going to have a lot of up and down kind of work to do. I would say this A chord with your pinky on 5, that's going to happen in your real life too. That's something that we spend a lot of time making that chord in fingerstyle. And so just know, probably when you first start, you'll get a whole lot of that. That's why working on those activities, that anything that includes your bar in, you should probably want to do those activities to get them tougher. The other thing I am thinking about, sometimes these long kind of end of the idea things seem to be a bit long to me. I may end up ultimately losing some of those, like measure 10, 11, and 12. I'm not sure why I'm doing 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm not sure why I'm doing that many of those. It's probably fine to lose a measure or two of that here and there, to kind of tighten it up a little bit, because otherwise you're like, what am I doing? I'm just hanging out waiting for the song to get started again. Measures 22, 23, and 24, another example of that. Like, what in the heck is going on here? Let's see, what else do I tell you? And Pauline says, glad we played it slowly. I wish this person would just leave a message. I don't know who that is. I don't, when somebody's calling repeatedly, I'm pretty sure it's the election people. I don't think there's a reason to play that song fast. You know, Pauline's point, hey, I'm glad we're playing it pretty slow. I am too. But I don't think it felt like it was too slow. I don't feel like it was playing it at a speed that was like, oh, this is for, this is kindergarten speed. I was thinking, this is about the slowest I want to play and still get the melody to work and still get everything to play nicely. And then I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want to play it that much faster. It's supposed to be this airy, beautiful sort of gossamer type song. And so playing it fast, beautiful dream, wake unto me. That probably isn't what we probably never would have been. Doesn't need to be, might be done. Maybe you're the person to do it that way, but I'm not. I think nice and slow, beautiful. Take your time, really work on getting these not terribly complicated chord shapes on, but complicated enough that we can get those to sound nice. Let's see. Can you do measures 43 and 44? Yeah, let's go take a look at them. He says, yeah, I can do them. And then I'm like, I don't know, can I do them? So, oh yeah. So he did, this is, I was thinking about this as I was playing them. I'm on a parlor size guitar, and I can barely reach it. So if you're on a full size guitar, the chances of you being able to reach that pretty small, right? So let's take a look. If you're at 43, okay, first thing you got your E chord. Next note's a 4, right? Now what I'm doing is I'm reaching my pinky out and then pulling back to 2. And then I'm set up for the next chord, which is an E chord with the 2 on the top. And then I'm playing an O, 3, and then my 3 just stays there because the next note is the E chord with the 3. And pull it back, and then into the A. Unfortunately, that's easy to talk about when you have, well-trained hands, a little bit smaller guitar, plenty of cooperativeness from my pinky. That's where the problem is, okay? So if you can't do that, you hit the E chord and then play melody. And come back in with your A chord. Or if I might play the O2, and now I can put my E chord on and add my pinky. Okay, so I probably want to play that 4 with a pinky no matter what, and then when I pull back to this 2 with a pinky, I can be putting on my chord to get the first chord in 44. So the alternative to what I'm doing, if you have a bigger guitar and you can't quite reach, even if you have a smaller guitar and you can't reach, you're going to play at 43, E chord, pinky on 4, pinky on 2, reconnect your E chord, lose your pinky, add your pinky, strum, drop your pinky back, and open, and then a nice A chord. And those of you guys that were around for Remember Me, remember all that pinky work we had to do on that. That's what made me realize I'm mortal. When your pinky is getting work like that, it is perfectly acceptable to say, you know what, chords are not going to be happening during this part of this song. Get out of it. Just let it go. Don't lose sleep over it because your hands just aren't quite ready for that. So you come in. Hope I didn't do it the way I told you to do it. That's how I would do it. And that way you're not trying to do something that's just not going to happen, right? So there you go. Pauline says, I'm glad we're playing. It's beautiful. A little bit long. I would say feel free on those, especially like I was talking before, these when you see the same chord and you're just sort of hanging out, you just feel free to just skip that stuff. Probably when I do another update of this, I'll probably get rid of some of those. They're kind of boring. Tom says, "Yep, I'm okay with playing slow." Take that as one of the take. I hope I always send you a home with that takeaway. Playing slow is good. Playing slow is fine. There's no we're all going to end up dead, right? And so we want to play as pretty as we can prior to that happening. And I would way rather you play slow and pretty than fast and in a hurry, as if there is a different deadline. The deadline is the deadline. And so just take the time to play stuff slowly, thoughtfully, connect with the guitar, connect with the music, be thoughtful about, all right, I think the moment that I think is so exciting is when I am at measure 32 and I hit this D chord. I turn the page and I see those sevens. I just get delighted. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to go do this. So exciting. Oh, I want that to mean something. And I grab that pinky with that 5 and then come down to the 4 with the 2s. I don't think that's too slow. I think that's making every note matter. And I think one of the guys, you guys should probably, if you're not already following, Elizabeth, I know, is following him. There's a guy out there called Alan Matthews, and he does classical guitar, and he puts out basically every 3 days, he sends you another email with sort of inspirational thinking behind it. And I don't have time to watch his videos anymore, but there's always, he continually goes back to this mindfulness and this thought about, we want to make everything connected and beautiful, and we want to make the song into something, and we can't do that by just rushing through trying to get all the notes in order. We have to create a relationship with our guitar and the music and what we want to do and what we think we want to do and what our skill set allows us to do, and just being nice, slow, in the moment, head focused around, not just playing notes, but actually knowing what those notes mean and why they're there and all that. It's a little bit heady stuff, but it does, I think, inform me as a guitarist in terms of, I'm going to think this stuff through. I don't really necessarily care if I play the song great. I do care that my motions that I'm putting together are meaningful to the song and what I'm trying to get done with it. And so, yeah, he's a tremendous, just kind of good guy. I don't know. He puts out all kinds of stuff all the time. I used to watch his guitar videos pretty religiously, but I just don't have as much time as I did. I never did anything he told me to do. I just like the way he thinks about stuff. All right, so there you go. There's some options for you. You're welcome, Vic. Isn't it fun to always be working on the next thing? You should also have 2 or 3 songs that are not the new thing, that you're just trying to hammer out until you get them perfect. There's that, right? I want to be fast. I want to play a hound dog. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. If you think about it, he's not playing it. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now. Go, cats, go. That's not really that fast, right? He's singing fast. He's singing with a lot of energy, but it's not really a fast song. Alan also included tabs with standard notation for classic users. Yeah. Yeah, he charges an awful lot for his website, but he puts out a ton of free stuff too. And I've gotten his Christmas book is delightful, and so I of course am stealing it and putting it in my format. But I mostly already had everything done out of his Christmas book is already in my Christmas book. But use that stuff, sort of look and see what he's up to. Oh, he did it in the key of D. Well, I did it in the key of G. That kind of stuff. So yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, and then right, exactly. So a bunch of you guys know him. He'll put out. It's the Tuesdays that he does that, where he says, "Okay, here's a quote from a famous person, and here's my little story about that little quote." And I've done a tiny bit of that with some other stuff I've done, and man, it's a lot of work. You're like, all right, here's a cool quote that I like. How does it apply? How does it relate to what I'm doing? And so, yeah. So if you haven't checked him out, go just type in Alan Matthews, Allen Matthews, and he'll come up. You can sign up for his newsletter. It's a nice newsletter. Brad Werner, yeah. Brad Werner is he's not inspirational though. He's definitely kind of a nerdy classical guitar guy. Does really nice stuff. very methodical and thoughtful about going through how to play this piece or that piece. You can really learn a lot from him. But in terms of being inspirational, I wouldn't say that about Kurt. I'd say, or Brad, sorry. I would say, he's just another guy that has a lot of um, technique behind what he's doing and real thought, and he has thought through it. I don't know necessarily if I ever feel like he's sharing that thoughtfulness with me, but he's definitely will take you through different pieces and show you how to play them. The thing I like about his newsletter is he'll put links to other guitarists, and you get the chance to go see, I never heard of that guy, and you go listen to it and you're like, oh my gosh, he's a really good player. And then here's the next one down. Go check out this girl. And you go check it out. Wow, she can really kill it. And so it gives you a chance to meet a lot of, not meet, but get to know a few other guitarists that are doing different things. But he's also very classically oriented. So there's a few jazz guys I follow, a couple of advanced jazz guys that are interesting. And so and Brad's not fun like Gary, right? Brad's not cool. I could beat him up. No, use what these guys give out. I mean, it's lots and lots and lots of free stuff out there. You can get overwhelmed by it too. I think you can follow too many people, or and I don't think that's necessarily good either. But I do think grab a little bit of classical, grab a little bit of jazz, grab a little bit of fingerstyle. And this fingerstyle guy that I follow, have been following him for years, he lives in New Mexico. It's ridiculous how good he is, and he just knocks these out. And some of Sunga Jung. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but he's been a little boy, used to sit on the couch playing his fingerstyle guitar better than I will ever play, and now he's a grown man, and he's got a huge following of people. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to keep yourself busy with. So, all right, guys, I got to go email you Imagine and Wonderful World. So if you sent me an email, you'll be getting it. If you have not sent me an email, you ought to, right? And then no charge for this one. And last couple of things. Christmas will basically be broken into public domain and non-public domain, and I will talk to you about what the non-public domain stuff means. I don't want it just laying around on the website, so we will be talking about how you're going to access that. If you are a member of Jolly Roger Ukulele, you'll be fine. So I'll probably post it there. Then this is the last week for this time slot. So the rest of this week, we will be at this time slot. And then next week, remember, I'm going to be gone for the week, but I'm going to give you sheet music to keep you busy that week. And I will expect you to be able to play it by the week I get back. And then the following week, we're going to move this to 9 a.m. my time. Plus, we have a time change in there, but it'll be 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time 2 weeks from now. I got to get my afternoons cleared up because I need a block of time to just sit down and write music, and I don't have that right at the moment. Everything's all crazy. I'm doing all this running around in the morning, and it's not good for me. So that's the plan at the moment, and I will be getting you guys out that email here shortly, and that's what I know about guitar. So let's see. No one is fun as Gary. I'm a barrel of monkeys. What do you think of Taylor guitars? Got a chance to buy a used 214 at a good price. I don't think there's anything wrong with Taylor guitars as a general concept. For me, it's always guitar to guitar. I can't say, hey, I like Taylor guitars, so therefore that's a good one, right? I think Taylor makes good stuff. I've never owned a Taylor. I don't personally. The ones I've played, I've never felt like the tone and I really connected as players. I'm definitely the guitars that I've played consistently that sound like Gary are Martin guitars or Yamaha guitars, which is funny. Yamaha guitars are relatively inexpensive, and Martin guitars are foolishly priced. And so those are the two guitars that click with me as a player. But I played beautiful Cordovas. I played plenty of nice Taylors. I played lots and lots of hand-built guitars. And, so I think go play it, Tom, and make sure that the sound resonates with you. Take a piece of sheet music, sit down, and just really look through it. Also, double check the neck, guys. When you're going to go buy a used guitar, they're usually getting rid of it. Well, they're getting rid of it for two reasons. Either it was under the bed for forever, but you want to look down the guitar neck like this. Even this guy, built for me has a tiny bit of a wobble in it, and to get rid of that, I'm going to have a neck reset, right? And that's not good. Sometimes the necks will be sitting up, and your action will be too high because the neck's starting to cave in. Um, um, and Arlo says, "Hey, I'm down with Taylor," but again, it doesn't matter the reputation of the guitar maker. It matters whether the guitar and you are speaking the same language. So Taylor makes great guitars. They don't speak to me. But that's just, I maybe haven't played the Taylor that I'll end up with it for my life. But double check the neck. The neck is where the problem is with guitars on. The body doesn't matter. The body's going to be fine. If it's even if it's got a crack in it, the body's fine. It's the neck you got to check. You make sure that it plays like you like it. It feels good, that it's straight. Those are the things that have. Those are the things that you got to look at when you're buying a used one. We have 2 Taylors, and I love them. Great factory tour in El Cajon. Very nice. So Pauline is another Taylor girl. So yeah, again, great guitars. And like I say, reputation is fine on those, Tom. Just go make sure you play it and look it over and check the neck to make sure that that guitar speaks to you. There's always going to be another guitar. There's always another guitar. Arlo is bought 4 or more in his life, and he's not done yet, right? And I'm not a huge guitar buyer. I have more guitars than I could ever possibly want. I think I have 4, but I don't need all of you need one that you can really play. That's what you want. So, so that's my thought on buying guitars. Just be aware. You're never going to run out of it. There's always going to be another guitar that you really want. So, all right. Have a great day, you guys. And I will see all of you tomorrow, and I will be sending out those. So, all right. Hasta mañana. All right. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.